I used AI to make this episode and help make a 5-year plan, and it drove me nuts. But I'm going to keep using it anyways for now. If you're new here, my name is Ian. I am a former professional photographer, actor, whatever, currently a carpenter here in Antarctica. And whenever I am zoning out, laying carpet tiles, bathroom tiles, ceiling tiles, whatever kind of tiles, or painting and breathing in the fumes of glue, I'm thinking about what my future should be and how I can get out of here. It's not that bad, but it's also not that great. So I'm thinking about what I want to do to reinvent myself and get out of here. And I'm turning to skill learning and, for that, AI right now to learn some new skills so that I can make some new income work for myself and then actually buy the future property that I hope to then turn into profitable land for myself so I can take control of my life and do something that feels fulfilling. So that's what this channel is about. We're here to document the story, document the ups and downs, what I learn, how I learn it, if it helps, and if it can help you learn anything. So we're going to start with what AI and I have decided. AI and I, that sounds beautiful. We're going to start with what we call the professional dashboard. This is sort of the goals, aspirations, and how far we've come along those lines, just to see, just to track it, just to see what progress is actually being made. So I'm just going to go through these real quick with you, starting off very basic without actually knowing. I think this is going to be a really growth-based thing here, where we're going to start with something very loose numbers, loose objectives, and then that's probably going to get dialed in as we make progress. So you're here in the beginning. Things are a little bit open-ended, but I'll try and explain what's going on. So here we've got the farm fund, 0 out of $500,000. It's not a totally random number chosen out of the ether and thin air. It is actually somewhat based on the cost of farmland that I had wanted to purchase a number of years ago that had previously, or was at the time, family farmland that was attached directly to my parents' property. And my idea was that I'll eventually one day be able to buy or get my parents' property, and then if I could have this chunk as well, I could return it to sort of an originally historic family plot. Didn't work out that way because I didn't have the $500,000 on me. Turns out most people aren't just sitting around with that extra cash waiting around for things to happen. So that's my goal, to be able to get to a number that will allow me to buy land that I can then at least farm. If I can't get what that original plot that I wanted, maybe I can get something else. So we're at 0 to 500,000 right now. Current monthly income, what I'm making right now is temporary. It's a seasonal contract. I'm here in Antarctica getting paid to be a carpenter, but that ends in October. So I'm going to say that this is temporary because what we're working towards here on this list is the income from this YouTube channel, the AI skill set I build, whatever other tools and things I can create. So right now we're at, I have a temporary income, but it's currently 0 is what we're making outside of that world. So skills learned, hey, this is episode 2, okay? I haven't learned any skills. Maybe that's not true. I have been plugging things into all of the chat GPTs and Claudes and et cetera's, and I've been making some images, and I've been scripting, assisting with scripting. This script is not made in AI, but the outline was made. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. So, maybe that's a skill learned, but technically I'm still at 0. AI automations, I have not automated anything. And I'm going to tell you right now, these videos are taking me 10, 12, 14 hours. I mean, the first one took 4 weeks. Part of that is because I work a full-time job, 54 hours a week. Yes, it's more than full-time. And then I have 2 other part-time jobs. So that takes me up to 60 hours a week. Plus, I'm not going to get into too much, but social stuff, sleeping, eating, bathing. And it's winter here, so I'm chasing the southern lights and going outside when it's dark. So everything takes time. The videos are taking a lot of time. I'm hoping to automate something in the future. The current experiment is you're looking at it, just getting these videos out the door. And I did actually make a project in video 1, which was a 5-year plan. I forget what we called it, but it's linked down below. It allows you to answer some questions, and it spits out how you can move forward. It's a pathway conversion calculator kit thing. I'll look at it down below. I have the name there. I can't remember exactly what it was. So just for a random number, the next milestone, $25,000, maybe I'll throw a party. I have no idea how long that's going to take, but hopefully it doesn't take too long, right? It's a big number, but also not that big of a number. Does that make sense? I guess if I worked a real job, could you make that in half a year? I think so. So today's experiment, can an absolute beginner, aka myself, get started in this first month and make, with AI tools and new skills, $500? Is that possible? Impossible? We'll see. We will see. So first, we'll have to check in with learning some of the skills and building this process. I mentioned it before. It's going to be tough working the 60 hours a week and with all the things that I've got going on, but we'll try it. So let's outline a path for what are the avenues that I can actually get into that can help me start making some sort of an income. So the process was, I am going to go to all of the LLMs that I currently know or have used. Those are large language models like ChatGPT. The 5 that I turn to are ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, and Grok. Those are really the only 5 that I'm aware of or that pop up as consistently well-known, well-used, well-loved, probably by some people. So I will also turn to some YouTube experts and see what they have to say about it. And then we'll come together after this process and determine what is the best path, what are the next steps, and what is the viability, maybe. That'd be cool if we even figured that out, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Whoa, here we go. Okay, so let's try and figure out how to make some stuff happen. I'm just going to type in what it is I want. Let's find some skills. Let's find some pathways to learn something. So, what? I want to learn AI skills that will allow me to make an income to accomplish a financial goal. My goal is to earn $500 million, or just 1,000. And God, I must want more than this as quickly as possible. Nice, good one. AI is going to love that. Can you give me the top 5 ways to start earning a money from AI skills? Yeah, from AI skills, and rank them in order of, yes, this is good, in order of profitability. Rank them in order? How is it going to know what to rank them in order of? Shoot, I don't know. Oh, how about this? Assume that I am, yes, a complete beginner and have never made any money online before, which I have, but not much. So, okay, here we are in Claude. Boom, send it. Now let's move over to ChatGPT, where I've had a lot of conversations. So that'll see what that gets it. Quick throw it in Perplexity. There we go. Whoa! Now we're in Grok. Where was that? That was the other one. Yeah, so here we already got something. Whoa, and then here we've got some. Yeah, here you can see ChatGPT and I have talked a lot, and it seems to just give you long answers. There's a lot there. We really like to dive into it. And it's interesting to see how each one gives you kind of the same but kind of different responses. So here's what came out of Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, etc. And then a little bit of a breakdown from each one. So I also then took the 5 answers and had them, each LLM, give me this kind of a cheat sheet breakdown. And you can see how they each kicked out different responses to those as well. So I thought that was great. And then I decided they were also pretty generic responses. So I wanted to give them a little bit different, more specific response that was catered to me as an artist or as a photographer or as a carpenter or someone that was using this money to start a farm and wanting to create a YouTube channel. So by doing that, they still gave me a lot of similar responses, but they were different. They were more creative. They were more catered to me. And actually, I spent like 2 hours doing that last night. And so I came up with a lot of notes for myself, and my 5 choices, like you saw in those previous pages, then came to this. But the internet was so slow I wasn't able to get another template made. So these were kind of the things I came up with. AI consulting for small farms, regenerative operations. AI generated digital products, which I definitely want to make products. I feel like that would be cool. Sax and soundscapes, like some sound stuff, very cool. Then also, maybe a little AI for outdoor people, lots of field tools. And then what about some tools that you could use with challenges, tree planting, plastic reduction, designing projects. And then Gemini, just all the ones that Gemini came up with, I was into. So that was really cool. And I got to go back just a second here. And then also one thing that didn't come up on any of the large language models responses was Amazon KDP. Now this would probably fall under AI generated digital products, but this is basically making books, assisted writing with AI. I've been on the path for most of my life wanting to be an author and write at least one book. Now, by using some type of an AI tool, I guess it doesn't really make you an author, but I really like the idea of creating a product that can then be sold not as a time trade for your, an income, hours for income, but once you make a book and you put it on Amazon KDP, it's print on demand, and so when people order the book, you get a cut. It's an asset, and that's a great thing too, because if I'm making books that are relevant to me and my learning path and trajectory, then yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So Amazon KDP, I can learn while making a product for other people to read and make a little income along the way. So those are what I'm thinking about. That was a lot. So the main takeaways that I get from that are everything needs to stack. And I actually am excited about this because I think it's a fun way to organize your thoughts and your experiences and your skill sets to really think about how everything can build off of each other. And I love the idea of this, but can I implement it? I do not know. Just documenting all of these things and stacking them so that, yeah, like we said, if I learn how to do YouTube and help other people do YouTube better, I'm essentially teaching myself how to do it better and faster, which is helping me build my own brand and moving myself farther forward faster. You know what I'm saying? If I learn how to automate things for a future farmer or market gardener or something, well then when I come around to actually being able to do that and having my own land, I've already prepared myself in those same ways. So I think it's going to be great. That's one of the things. 2, I need to go deep. Nope. Number 2 is actually what I just said. I'm going to learn skills that directly impact the projects that I want to do. So same thing. Number 3, I need to learn a couple platforms deeply. I sort of sprayed and prayed here with the 5 platforms and then even integrated Adobe Firefly and, have done a little bit with Lovable to make the app that I've included in this video that's in the, don't say that's down by the comments. I've been in the dark. I haven't seen the sun in 2-3 months, okay? So you have to give me a break if I mess up and don't say a word correctly or don't find the word at all. So yeah, I need to learn a few of these platforms deeply so that I can really build the basis of the skill set and speak to them intelligently. Also, selling to individuals, sure, maybe you can do that. Friends and family, stuff like that is great. But selling to businesses is the fastest way to scale up and actually get to that high ticket value income level that I want to get to. Individuals aren't needing or wanting to spend as much, but a business will buy things that help them make more money. So that's a direction that I will need to go, even though a lot of me is just interested in selling to people solutions and individual solutions. So I'll have to work on that. And then also, number 5, $500,000 is going to take forever. So I know that I have a dream of getting somewhere in a year, but maybe the journey of the first year is not going to get me on some property. I have some money saved up and that'll be another video too. We'll talk about how I got to where I am and what I'm going to do with it and how it works with, maybe we'll show some numbers at some point, but $500,000 is going to take a long time. And if I count what I already have, it won't take as long, but it will still take a long time. So yeah, it's crazy. If you think about, let's say you make a good amount of money, right? $80,000. I think that sounds pretty good. And let's say you live pretty frugally somewhere and you can save 50 of that. Well, shoot, we're looking at 10 years of living frugally. So something's got to ramp up here. Okay, that's what we're going to try and do. Ouch. Okay, so maybe you're not trying to buy a farm. Maybe you don't want to buy an asset that produces income and you just want to buy a house, or maybe a large amount of money will just allow you to be still and retire or invest into something that's meaningful to you. Maybe you're also looking into the future and you just don't see anything there. When I look out after this season that I'm currently in, when I get home, I don't have a single thing on my calendar. Nothing. No trips, no jobs, no careers, and maybe you're like me and you don't feel like you have much going for you. I've done a lot. We'll do a video on all of the places I've been, I don't even want to call them skills yet. I'll have to figure that out too. All of the jobs that I've had, all of the micro careers. It's really just a lot of freelancing. I don't feel like I've really accumulated a very financially stable set of skills that I can take forward once I get out of this job. And I just know that I need to change that. So that's part of what this process is. So maybe you're in that same place. I used to feel like not having anything coming up was really freeing. Like that was the goal, was to have so much freedom that you could do anything. But I've found with too much freedom, you also can't do anything, because then you have to come back and do something to survive so that you can go back to doing anything, which you can never really do anything because you can't afford to do anything. It's complicated. We'll unpack that someday, maybe. So I feel like I've sort of set myself a trap, and there's no way that I can get out of it on the path that I'm on, which is why we're here trying to reset. And I know I'm turning to something that's maybe a little bit controversial. AI, taking people's jobs, making others rich. Did you get in too early? Not too early. Did you get in early? Are you too late? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but I don't think it's bad to at least educate myself on this and gain some skills along the way. And I don't have anything to lose. So if you're feeling that way, I've mentioned a couple times, down below is the Reinvention Scorecard. That is, full transparency, a fun project that I made. I took it myself. We're going to go through what I came up with, my 5-year plan, which is what it told me. I'm a wanderer, and I need to come up with a 5-year plan because I wandered too much. And so I'd say take it, see what you get for yourself, and then let me know in the comments below what you got. And it's also, this is the full disclosure part, it's something that I created as a lead magnet, which is something that a creator will offer to people to collect email addresses and build a community so that I can stay in touch with you, we can grow together, and then down the road, as I create things that may be more helpful and I've learned lessons that you may want to learn, then I can continue to pass them on to you and build the business that I'm currently working on, which is this whole channel. So anyways, that's what that is. Go check that out. Do it. Just do it. Okay, so here it is. 5-year life plan. All of the resources I found that told me to do a 5-year plan said, just shoot for the moon. Like, what would be your dream situation? And even still, I think that I held back a little bit. But this was also a condensed version. I had Gemini make this. It made me a crazy 9-page document the first time around that was in a language that I would never use. Not because it was awful, but just because it was like high-level corporate speak, which I guess is actually what I asked for. So that's my bad. But as far as growing the farm plan, 5-year strategic vision, year one, I kind of would love to be just successful and have the story and the channel take off, and actually be monetized on YouTube. And I also would like to learn the discipline and stay consistent, where not even just on YouTube and making products or videos and things, but even physically in the real world, in my life, being disciplined to eating healthier and exercising and taking care of myself. So, and I think that those skill sets would work well and translate to YouTube and content creation. And that would also help the channel take off. So I think year one is really focusing on that, getting the brand established, make and save enough money that maybe at the end of the year I'm actually shopping for that property and farm to live on. I think that's relatively realistic if any of these things take off. Then year two, heck, why not break ground? Have more acreage that I know what to do with. I can get some sort of a plot that is bigger than a one-person, one-man band. I could plant large tracts with a variety of trees, which is one of the big things I want to focus on, and do farming, market gardening things differently, a little bit longer term than just your regular average market garden. And yeah, think about things like nuts and syrup production, wood, way, way, way down the line, well-grown oak trees or something, or black walnut. Nuts like maple, pecans, and then I can get my little berry and fruit orchard going. Those don't take as long as trees, but do still take years before they're really kicking out high-level, high poundage of products. The pears, the plums, cherries, blackberries, honeyberries, raspberries, strawberries. These are things that are going to come up. You will hear about them ad nauseum. And then if I've saved enough money, I can actually maybe invest in larger plants instead of putting in little tiny plants that will take more years to get to harvestable levels. I could actually just invest in bigger plants. So that would be very cool. And then planting those perennials like asparagus, rhubarb, things that will continue to come back and not just be one-offs, as well as doing the regular stuff. So then we get to year three. Farm becomes profitable. Social media has continued to take off and is a good income, following the storyline, and it's becoming educational, and people are following, and it's just really, really good. And then I am working at the farm during the growing season, but I've managed to find a way to then get my half season off where I can go and adventure and still find motivation to come back at the end of a winter or something. Live on that sailboat in Alaska. That's a part of my plan. Or if it's awful and cold there in the winter, which it probably would be, then maybe I'd bring it down to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Just something exciting like that. And then, whatever this farm is, get new buildings up, get more efficient, get more green, get more self-sufficient. Plant the plants like garlic that I can just have huge fields of that I'm passionate about. And plant in the fall and then run away for a while. And then year four, we get into maybe products and events. The space has taken on a life of its own, and it's running, it's moving, trees are growing up, the orchard is growing, and people are seeing it. It's actually starting to get pretty, and I want it to be pretty and beautiful. And it's not just plants fresh things out of the ground, but it's products like, honeys, syrups, freeze-dried things, teas. I don't know, just cool stuff like that. And now I'm hosting events, weddings, gatherings. You pick. People are coming to the farm to pick their own food, so I don't have to pick everything and ship it, How about that? And then I built new buildings some more, infrastructure, better things, cooler things, experimental things, and the place just becomes special. And then finally, year five, the farm, the online presence, it's become a consistent income stream. I've finally, quote unquote, made it, and something that I can retire on. And like I said before, retirement for me, or maybe I didn't say it before, it doesn't need to be anything extravagant. I just want it to be consistent enough that I'm not worried. You know what I mean? I could still do other things and work in a way that's a little easier on me, and easier emotionally, mentally, physically. And I've got systems in place, people that work for me and know the ropes, so I can actually leave and I don't have to be there all the time. I think that I'd probably still want to be there a lot of the time, but if I want to go for a trip for a month in the middle of summer, somebody knows how to take care of that system, and I can bail and actually live on that sailboat in Alaska in the summer. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking about, having a nice, perfect 5-year plan. And now we'll go to the scoreboard, which is the update to the mission update from the beginning. Over the course of this video, nothing has changed. My last video did get 5 views so far, so we're up to 5 views a week. Pretty good. Starting from nothing, this is the ultimate start from scratch process, okay? You're all with me, all 5 of you. You're all with me on this trip. We'll see if we can't get 10 views. Maybe somebody will comment. Please comment. The experiment reaching financial goal of $500 in the first month. We now have some paths that we've discovered. Time invested. Holy cow. What time is it now? It is almost 2 o'clock on a Sunday. I've been at this since 10 a.m. this morning. So we'll be at a solid 4 hours, plus editing after this, plus, let's say, 3 hours last night. And this is going to be 10, 12. Yeah, we're doing about 12 hours an episode here. This is not good. We got to fix this. Money spent, 0. I've not paid. Everything's a free tool right now. So I've not spent anything on this. Money earned, 0. Would I do it again? Yeah. I hope to not have to do such a deep dive, or at least not as slowly. So yes, I would do it again if it means I'm getting closer to my goal. Did this move me closer to the farm? Not yet. Yes, but I'm not even going to give it a number. 1 out of 10, what does that even mean? I don't know. What I am learning is that AI isn't necessarily the silver bullet it's supposed to be, or at least not within the first 20 hours. So would this have taken me longer? I bet all those slides would have taken me longer. I bet idea generation and research would have taken longer. To watch 5 YouTube videos that are an hour long each, well, there's 5 hours of just researching and then compiling the notes as I go. Yeah. So it could have taken longer. So in closing, before we can walk, we need to learn how to run. Wait. Backwards. Strike that. Reverse it. Before we can run, we need to learn how to walk. Before I can start making tons and tons of dollars, I need to learn some skills. And in order to do that, I need to work on these pathways that we have researched. A lot of them were very exciting to me, and I'm not sure what I'm going to pick next, but I'm excited to show you next week what it is I came up with and how far I got. So the dream of a farm, of property, a house with a backyard big enough to garden in, is still going. It's still strong. It's still motivating. So I'm really excited that I've found something that I can at least latch onto right now. That's going to keep me moving forward, putting in the hours, not spending time with friends so that I can spend time with my new friends. And I'm very excited about that. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for dealing with my